Hey guys, it is Duane here from DewyHQ, and today I am talking about another Persona 5 theory. Now, if you guys have been wondering where the theory videos have been, no, I'm not dead. 2, there's not really much to talk about, unfortunately. I feel that the hype's actually died down for Persona 5 quite recently. It feels like they're trying to do something similar to what GTA did, where like they'd only release a trailer every so many months, but we're stretching on to about 7 months now without any real solid evidence video content actually analysed or anything like that, so we're kind of just having a bit of a guessing game. Some people might be able to pull out theories, but I like to just make my own theories and see. I like to explore avenues that people haven't really explored. While we've been waiting for content, I've been watching tons of shows and stuff to do with Phantom Thieves, and I actually got onto a show, an anime called Detective Conan. And I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of this, at least some people who are avid watchers have definitely heard of this. It's a very long running show. It's been running for about 20 years now. And I decided to start watching it, and what's interesting about this show is it kind of mimics the way Sherlock Holmes works as a detective, because Conan, the main protagonist of the show, he actually looks up to Sherlock Holmes and he wants to be a detective. Like, he's actually a full-fledged detective, and that's like the main reason he got into becoming a detective. And the main thing about this that relates to Persona 5 is that he eventually meets a rival who is actually a Phantom Thief, and he actually gets thwarted by this Phantom Thief known as the Kaito Kid. Now, there's a side story for him, because he was such a popular character, that he exists in the same world as Detective Conan, and there's an actual anime based on him as well. I've watched a couple of episodes, I haven't watched it all the way through, but I thought I'd bring up some ideas that I've got from watching this show. And the main ideas that I established from watching Kaito Kid is that he has assistance from his father's right-hand man, which is essentially, he calls him G. I kind of can't really pronounce a lot of Japanese names, but I'll throw a picture up. There's like a full story behind it. I don't want to dive too much into spoilers. If you guys want to go watch that, it's actually a decent watch. I've watched a couple of episodes. I would recommend it. It's fairly good. But the main thing I wanted to talk about here is that because he's a Phantom Thief, he gets assistance from G, and so he obviously gives him new gadgets, like all this type of stuff. So I was wondering how this could relate possibly to Persona 5. What I've established is that someone besides the Phantom Thieves in Persona 5 has to be in on it. I feel like someone outside the Phantom Thieves actually has to know what the Phantom Thieves are actually doing and must be trying to assist them somehow, because it seems very unrealistic to be set in a modern Tokyo world where the Phantom Thieves are able to get their hands on weapons, swords, guns, whatever. I'm sure Morgana could possibly shapeshift into an older person and acquire these weapons, but that's yet to be seen, so I'm going to assume that she cannot do that. So, in other words, there has to be someone outside the Phantom Thieves that are giving them supplies to have them do the heists. One theory of mine is that the weapons could actually be like the tarot cards from Persona 4, where they form only in the Shadow World. You can only use them in the Shadow World. That seems to be one potential, but it feels like the Phantom Thieves would have this outside in the real world as well, in case they were stealing like actual gems and stuff like that. So I feel like that theory can be kind of crossed off. My second theory is that someone is supplying the weapons, and you can see that in the first PV game clip where they visit some sort of armory, ex-armory store. It feels like that store in The Simpsons, the guy who sells all the ex-military stuff. It kind of feels like that kind of guy. But besides that, it feels like they could get the weapons through him, so maybe he's potentially in on it. And this doesn't seem too far-fetched, because in Persona 3 there was an officer called Officer Kurosawa. He didn't exactly know that the Seas group was actually hunting down shadows and doing all this type of stuff, but he knew that the island was in danger. So it's quite possible that this officer made connections with Akihiko and Mitsuru, so they could get supplied with weapons and armor, and that's how you get all your weapons and armor in Persona 3. Of course, this was different in Persona 4 because they bought it through the local armory or the blacksmith guy or whatever his name was. So in other words, protagonists must be acquiring their weapons through either this weapon shop, which is most likely the case, or they've got someone on the outside helping them supply them with weapons. Now, this leads to a couple of theories. Who is that person? It could also be someone on the inside of the police station that's helping the Phantom Thieves, and that could help drop them hints on how to avoid being caught by them. But at one point they do get caught, so perhaps that police officer is ratted out. Or two, it could be where the protagonist is staying. Now what I mean by this is that the protagonist is staying currently in a cafe that is owned by his parents' friends. They might actually play some sort of influence in it. And not a lot of people have actually talked about these people. They feel like they're just not going to be there whatsoever, but I feel like they will show up, and potentially they could be like social links, how Nanako and Dojima were. Whether the protagonist's guardians will assist the Phantom Thieves in their heists, or potentially they assist them in stealing hearts, but that's the fun of speculation. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas on who could be supplying Phantom Thieves with gadgets, weapons, outfits, anything like that, I feel like it could be just them, but I have a strong feeling that someone else is helping them. If you guys think you know something about who could be helping out our Phantom Thieves, drop your ideas in the comment section below. And before you guys go, a quick question there. Would you like to see this channel do a full Let's Play of Persona 5, or rather would you see fusion guides and maybe social link guides? Leave it in the comment section below, let me know. I really want to know, because either way I'm going to be playing through this game. It just means I'm going to record it or not. I'll see you guys in the next video, and see you then.